tell. I have a friend that's really scaring me. I was hanging out with her, you know, like practically every day. Every other day she was helping me with my job search. What I like to refer to myself as an amateur psychologist. I've been studying psychology for 22 years, ever since I was 8 years old. And I can be friends with anybody. I've had friends that were psychos, and I've had friends that were bipolar, and I've had friends that were depressed, and I've fallen in love with people that show signs of insanity. Because people with signs of insanity remind me of my dad, and it's not that I want to have sex with my dad, it's just that, I don't know, my dad's a really wonderful, inspiring, sweet person, and that was the kind of dude I always want to be with, so that's one of the reasons why I was able to fall in love with a dude like that. Anyway, she's really scaring me lately. One of the things that I told her, last time we really had a conversation, was that her psychopathic tendencies really scared me. It made it difficult for me to search for a job. One of the things that she's done for me, which is very, very sweet, I will point out that she's a very, very sweet person, and I care about her a lot, and I love her, and I wish she wouldn't treat me this way. I wish she could accept me for who I am. I'm an atheist person. This is who I am. This isn't a choice. This is me using my brain to the fullest of its capacity, and I'm not capable of believing in things that aren't proven. And that's why I'm an atheist. It has nothing to do with choice. I can't accept the idea of magic. I can't accept the idea of, a God that's there that has no problem hurting people and makes hurting people a part of its plan. I can't see that. That's not something that I can do. And she immediately developed a distrust for me and belittled me to my face and judged me right in front of me. And she would get in these psychopathic fits in the car, encourage me to go for a ride in her car, according to her, to save gas. But she would use that as an opportunity to go into a psychopathic tantrum. And yeah, she gave me flashbacks of spending time with my mom in the car when my mom would get into one of her psychopathic fits too. People frequently use the car as a means to display psychopathic tendency because you can't get out of a car while it's in motion. That's dangerous. And no, it wasn't a severe psychopathic fit that she would get into, these fits, but they were bad enough that I found them disturbing, especially since all I would ever do was explain my side. I didn't lose my temper with her, I only stood my ground. She told me to my face I couldn't possibly be happy because I was an atheist. She said that, she could tell that I was unhappy, which wasn't true. Anybody that knows me knows that right now I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life. I'm thoroughly convinced that I don't suffer from any sort of mental illness anymore, but just because I don't suffer from mental illness, it doesn't mean that I can't get hurt. And when a person degrades you for your parenting, and when they degrade you for your lack of religious belief, and when they degrade you for how you're job searching, it's not like my job search has been very long. And I did find a couple of jobs, but they're not that great. Like I say, she's on my case about this laptop now, but she offered for me to, at first, borrow it until I could find a decent job. Well, I haven't found a decent job yet. But when she was handing it over to me, she actually said I could keep it. She said, "No, it's okay, I don't need it, I've got a new one." And I said, "Really, are you sure?" And she said, "Yep." And so You know, she even said, you can delete everything on it. Which I didn't do, because I noticed she had a bunch of pictures on it, so I compressed them into a zip file that I intended to send to her, but I can't even talk to her. She gets so violent on the phone, and now she's starting to, you know, she'll call back, and she'll call back, and she'll call back. And now she's sounding very scary. Now it sounds like she's willing to, I don't know, take me to court over this, even though she said I could have the thing. Well, it's not really about the laptop. It's about the fact that she, you know, made an agreement with me. She told me that I could use it so that way I could get a decent job. And I don't have a decent job yet. Being on call as a, you know, server for a catering service and being on call for a housekeeping service doesn't pay very well. So I still need to use the computer, the laptop, until I find a decent job. You know, a decent waitressing job, that is. So, yeah, it's really disheartening. And she keeps getting scarier. And I don't necessarily think that she's a scary person, but some of the things that she's told me about herself are kind of disturbing. Not that I want to share them, because I don't. But it's really sad that a person that I care about and that I feel like I love to a degree could possibly hurt me so badly to my face, belittling my parenting, belittling my choice of lifestyle, belittling my husband, belittling the fact that I don't have a religion. Like, what do you care if I don't have a religion? It doesn't affect you. In my eyes, she behaves as though I'm rejecting her because I reject her religion. And that's not how it is. I reject religion, not people. And I don't reject her. I'm just afraid of her. She doesn't get that. She doesn't get that when you belittle somebody to their face, when you degrade them, you know, when you constantly point out all their flaws, you hurt them badly. People don't want to spend time with you when you do this, when you behave this way. She says that I talk like a 60-year-old person. She says that how I speak is condescending. But I think it's far more condescending. Well, no, not condescending. I think it's far worse to degrade somebody to their face for the way they choose to live. And I don't think that's something a true friend would do. So, if this is something that you find yourself doing, and then you lose friends left and right, please understand that your friends have every right to behave this way. It's not their fault that you're rude and don't have manners.